Welcome back on MDG Media. We have round 2 back 9 FPO lead card coverage from the 2024 European Disc Golf Festival in Tallinn, Estonia, on the Song Festival grounds. Beautiful venue and super stacked field this year. They really put on an excellent event. Super happy to be in the studio with Elias Luukkonen. I'm Andrew Gum.
Thank you, Andrew. It's my pleasure to be here once again. We saw the front 9. Not the greatest play, honestly, from the lead card. You know, Heidi shot 9 under in the first round, not nearly that on the front 9. Now, of course, she was scoring better on the back, as you mentioned. But, you know, they really have to pick up the pace. The rest of the field is catching the lead card, at least partially. Some great rounds, 6 under, 4 under, 3 under, 4 under. A lot of great scores on the chasing cards.
Yeah, lots of moves being made. I feel like it's kind of leveling out. Heidi had such a strong lead coming in, but she's been unable to continue that momentum here in the second round. But she finished hot yesterday. Let's see if she can do something similar today. Getting right into it on hole 10, par 3, 99 meters, low ceiling, OB on the left and right. Kind of a touchy one. Quite a few late guardian trees to beat, and here you see the basket perched just before it starts to drop off there behind.
Yeah, all about just missing some of those last guardian trees, as you mentioned. You know, the OB right is actually quite close if you're going for that right side gap, going a straight shot to the right with a slight finish. You're really challenging that right side OB. So the safer one, potentially where Kaidi is going, you know, more towards that left side, but that's too much speed. And finding the OB, unfortunately.
Yeah, and this is the site of those really cool moments that we saw in the intro. I just remembered that, you know, all those like really emotional moments from Kristen and Dennis Augustin. Really love seeing those images. What a great property. What a great shot there from Keiti Tätte. Just lacing the line with the backhand and getting it all the way up there inside the circle.
Yeah, very courageous line there, not caring about the trees on that right side. Eveliina a bit safer, probably didn't try to go that low, just a bit of a low release there. She had a good shape on the disc with that flat to slight turning shot. Let's see if Heidi can get the height right, and looks like she can. Little fade out here potentially, needs to slow down before that OB. And yeah, that's just easy to do if you're going with a bit more of a stable disc. Easy to fade out into that left side OB.
Yeah, skips and slides out, but she'll be pinned high, right around circle's edge for a chance to save the par. See if she can get something going there. Eveliina, forehand approach, gets up and rolls a little bit, but curls nicely inside the bullseye ring.
And another look to the structures that they have built on this course for the crowd. Really great crowd control. All the fairways staying clear of the crowd, so the crowd is always on the outer edge of the fairway. Really great as a player. There's, you know, no distractions on the fairway. And what a putt there, Heidi. Great par save. Important for her momentum. I think even though she's getting a par on this hole, which is not really gaining a lot of strokes on the field, with a putt like that you can gain so much momentum that it's going to help almost more than a birdie potentially.
Yeah, huge save there, solid putt. And I could say as a media worker, it's really nice to have those fairways cordoned off as well. I'm sure it's great as a player, but also it's easy to move around without having to swim through the crowds. You know, when you got this many spectators, it's well, great birdie there from Keiti. Not to talk over it, but yeah, really special course here for sure, for many reasons.
And this course is going to be the course used for the next year's major as well. We're going to have a major tournament here on this very same property. That's going to be so cool. And we're moving on to a par 5. It's all about shot shaping here on hole number 11. 233 meters, so not an incredibly long par 5. It's all about throwing it straight on the first shot. If you want to finish a bit right, at about 100 meters off the tee, you can get even more distance, but really a straight shot with fairway driver or mid-range is going to be great here. Then on the second shot you want to bite off some more distance, get yourself in the open, fully out of the woods. And on the third shot, ideally you would like to have just a short approach, you know, from less than 70 meters, hopefully.
Great hole break down there. It's worth mentioning that every hole has its own unique sponsor, and this one is Nike, so pretty cool to see even big companies, you know, that are not really necessarily involved with the sport too directly, you know, chipping in here and getting some ad space and contributing to a big prize pool and a lot of, you know, excellent support from different companies.
Yeah, that's also something that the organizers are great at doing, getting support for the event. We have 2 shots on the fairway there. Not the longest of shots. Heidi's going for a much bigger one. Look at this. Full power almost with the driver, and that drive is absolutely massive. I have not seen a longer drive, no matter the division, in all of practice or in the first or the second round.
You heard it, folks. That was a huge crush. That was about 145 meter shot for Heidi. She just went over that building, full flex, like the disc just kept carrying. She's so far up there. She's only 90 meters from the basket right now.
Yeah, talk about making a hole look easy. I don't think that shot looked easy, but her next shot is gonna look incredibly easy for being a par 5. And Eveliina here, good play. Very well committed sidearm, getting around all of the trees, and that's kind of that ideal position after 2 shots. She's gonna have just another open sidearm there. Really a left to right moving shot is gonna be the best for this green.
Yeah, I'm still kind of mind blown about that shot from Heidi. That was a just massive drive, and pretty brave to go over that house like that, or that structure and that building. Now she does have a little bit of a tree in her lie on the second one. Kaidi with a pretty good second shot there. But yeah, as we'll see, Heidi has like just a little bit on this tree. It might affect her swing a little bit. Able to work it pretty nicely up towards the green. It's fading out a little bit, but there you see it. 14 meters left for an eagle.
Yeah, I mean, she would take that result every time if she was offered a 14-meter putt for the eagle. Of course, after that drive, she would love to be in the circle, but still gonna be an exciting chance. As Eveliina gonna be on the edge of the circle. She had a good line on the shot, just a little bit short, and Keiti showing off some of that Estonian forehand that we expect to see from all of the Estonian players.
Yeah, they seem to all have that shot super dialed. They have some great role models from both divisions, and Silverland and Kristen Tataro, like pretty much mastering those flicks. Here's Heidi for the second eagle of the day in the field. We had one on hole 1, a throw in from Cynthia Klesberga. But Heidi, unfortunately, not able to connect. Eveliina with a sweet circle 2 putt, though, there for the birdie. Back to even for the round. Just what she needed to jumpstart her day here.
Yeah, great release. And, you know, this hole looked like it was going to set up for a big victory for Heidi, as she was, you know, she threw that great drive, chance for eagle. Eveliina was kind of, you know, shorter, not really out of position. But turns out they all got the same score. Kaidi as well, with a good 4 here. And the lead card making this hole look pretty simple. You know, 4 birdies, that's a great result on a hole that can really produce a lot of trouble.
Sweet star frame. That's just what we needed. We've seen some struggles here on the lead card, so good to see things moving in the right direction. And moving on to hole 12, it's a par 4, 180 meters. Biggest danger on the tee is that OB on the right side. You see people end up there way more than you think you would. You know, the safe play is just to kind of put it in bounds and, you know, make sure you get left. Of course, you can go too hard left and fade OB there as well, but playing as a par 4 for the FPO, the second shot moves left to right up here to this green. It's a pretty nice looking hole. Not too difficult, but somehow it seems to play a little harder than it looks. It's a little bit uphill, I guess, all the way. Maybe that kind of adds some distance to it.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely. And especially with the second shot, it's quite common to have some both low ceiling and also still some of that uphill left, so making the approach a bit more difficult. For example, Keiti there, definitely gonna have both low ceiling and a bit of a high floor. No, there's about halfway through the fairway, there's that second tier that you have to climb, either on the drive or, for a lot of players, only on their second shot.
Yeah, that's a great point. Eveliina over there on that left side, she's safe, but yeah, dealing with the low ceiling now. Heidi, let's see how much she wants. All the power in the world, but way overturning this. Can it fight all the way up and through? No way. OB early on that one. Big mistake from Heidi.
Yeah, very surprising. With her power, she really didn't need that understable disc. She could have gone overstable hyzer, just barely over the OB, get back inbounds, and still could have gotten to the second tier. Yeah, it's gonna be a tricky up and down for the par. As Kaidi, that's a solid drive. Gonna be some interesting footing though on the side of that slope.
Yeah, for sure. That'll be a tricky spot. She also didn't get any advancement on the skip. It was like it would have, normally gotten quite a bit more play there, but dug in right over that tier that you're talking about. Definitely can change things up here. Playing surface not even. There we see Heidi turning the corner, but a little bit short of the basket still.
And here's that low ceiling. Keiti navigating the low ceiling, but that's the tough part. The ground really coming up with that uphill slope. And Kaidi, bit of a yank on the forehand. And that's gonna be OB. The OB on the left side, really not too close. Yeah, I think the footing just made it difficult.
Definitely, you saw her sitting down there. She couldn't really follow through on the swing. And unfortunately, has to take a penalty stroke. Hopefully not hurting. Look at this! Eveliina just skipping it off the top from way back there. Wow. That was crazy. Almost doing something really special. It does skip a little bit, but it stayed inside the circle at least. Heidi's jump putt approach on point. Keiti trying to get a fourth birdie in a row. She had a turkey. Remember, she finished off the front nine with 1, 2 in a row here on the back nine. And just puts it close for the par, though.
Yeah, no problem with that. And great run there from Kaidi. I would assume it has to be a little bit disappointing, after a good looking drive, to have such a tough spot for the approach and getting a bogey. As Eveliina almost ringing it up for the eagle, but instead she's gonna take, I was about to say a par, but that is a tough miss. 3.3 meters.
Yeah, and what a twist of fate, to go from almost scoring an eagle to not getting the birdie, not even getting the par, but a bogey instead. Disaster. That was the last thing she needed right now. She was starting to roll along there. She was only 1 stroke back in the lead at that point. Now instead, Heidi's going to take one on her. Or no, wait, she's going to have a bogey as well. So I guess it's going to remain a 1 stroke difference between them. But anyway, that was an opportunity to get into the lead, potentially.
Yeah, Heidi really opening up the door to everybody else, but nobody able to walk through it, really.
Yeah, Kaidi Teku, 6 down through 14. Right there. We are back on hole 13. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, hole 13 rewards some good distance. If you have good speed on the right hand backhand throw, you can go with a nice straight stable driver. Try to hang it out there near those light poles on the right side. Ideally utilize a little bit of height. You don't really want to go too high up in the air to challenge fading into the left side OB. It's all about just keeping it nice and level, few meters off the ground. At about halfway through the fairway, the ground really drops, so you have a couple more meters to glide your disc than it initially looks from the tee. Let's see the arm speed of these players. This is a great hole to see the difference between the arm speed.
Yeah, 125 meters. It's quite a rip. It is a little bit downhill. There's sometimes some headwind coming off the sea. You see those flags ripping. It did pick up a little bit as we went along the round today. It was quite calm in the morning when we started. This is early left. Catches those trees and trickles into the OB. Unfortunate there. Eveliina with all the power in the world to reach it, but Heidi putting a pretty good move on this one. Goes to flat, fading out. Up there on the green, just outside the circle.
Yeah, I love the line there, going with something significantly more overstable than on the previous hole. And still able to almost reach the green. And Kaidi here, a bit of a flip up, lower shot, trying to get more penetrating push. And that's also a solid result. You know, parking this hole really does take a pretty long shot, especially in the headwind. There's almost always a headwind with the sea being on the far side of the basket.
Solid approach there from Eveliina. Yeah, nice smooth swing from Kaidi. She didn't get all the way up there, but you gotta like it. Still have a chance. Keiti just jump putt approaching there for another par. Kaidi's bid looked pretty good, just a little bit left at the end.
And big chance here for Heidi. Good putt there. And she's feeling it. You know, bit of an up and down back nine so far. You know, she had that great putt on the first hole of the back nine, then almost eagling on the next. Just a small bogey in between, and now this is a really great momentum builder. There, you know, it's not a hole that you see birdied a whole lot. Even with these top drivers in the field, nobody able to get inside the circle, and circle 2 being where a lot of the birdie attempts are made on this hole.
See Keiti tapping in the par, and we're moving on to hole 14. This is a new one this year. What do you think about this one? It's all on the very far side of the property. Totally fresh one. For the FPO, it's a par 4. Yeah, 155 meters. Yeah, tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, great utilization of the space here. This space has never been used before for disc golf, at least not in the tournaments I've played on this property. It's all about just throwing something nice and straight with a stable finish at the end, ideally a driver. For the bigger arms you can even go for a bit of a hyzer release and fly with a hyzer through that gap. I would expect Heidi to do something like that. Yeah, then after a good drive it's really a pretty simple approach, all about the drive once again on this hole. It's all about that drive, but Heidi there, that's gonna be too inside. You really want to be on the right side of that tree and flying forward for at least 10 to 20 more meters.
Nice artistic shot there, shooting from underneath the ruins. Shout out to the art cam. Yeah, this hole took a lot of work to clean out. I guess there was a ton of stuff in the way there, and so the grounds is still a little bit kind of maybe choppy or something. It's not the smoothest surface. That was a pretty sweet drive from Keiti. Putting it down there. This looks overturned though. Can she get a good kick? Yes, she does.
Yeah, great result. There is OB on that right side, which rarely comes into play. It's pretty rare to see somebody going over the right side fence to the OB. Let's see Eveliina here ripping a shot. This needs to stay right though, just barely inside. And that's the problem, hitting the inside corner. They still might even have a chance to go for the birdie from here. Let's see what's the line looking like. Yeah, Heidi definitely trying to go for it, more on the hyzer side. And good result there. I think she's gonna be fine after such a poor drive to still have a look for the birdie.
Yeah, it's definitely a pretty soft par 4, I would say. Second easiest hole on the course at 3.77 average. Quite a lot of birdies. So this is one, yeah, if you don't get it, you feel like you're kind of losing strokes maybe. There's not too much to it. At only 155 meters, you just have to throw a couple of, 75 meter shots, and then you'll have a look for the birdie. That's what Kaidi does right there. Puts it under the basket.
Well done. Really well done. And even with the statistics, you have to consider that these are the hottest players in the field right now, and the statistics include all of the field. So of course there are players that are not quite on the same level as these players for this tournament. So if the hole is playing easy for the field, for these players it's playing even much easier.
Kind of an uncommitted putt there from deep for Heidi. Trying to put some nice touch on it, but it sailed off pretty far left. And Eveliina off the band again. She's having some struggles on the putting green. She's hit a couple nice ones, but missed quite a few that would definitely be helping her cause right now.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the thing with Eveliina. She's almost always throwing the disc very well. At least, you know, challenging the best throwers in the field, even on a bad throwing day. But just that putter sometimes can be a little bit off. She's improved on it from previous years, you know, doing better and more consistent on the putting green, but still definitely something I think she is going to improve more on in the future. Has a couple of good tapping birdies here. Pars for the Finns, birdies for the Estonians.
Yeah, good one to get. Moving on to hole 15, par 4, 168 meters. Maybe one of the signature holes on the course, would you say, outside of the stadium that you start and finish on. It's, you know, you just gonna pipe it with a low ceiling off the tee. You got to contend with this Mando that you see on the right here, but the main objective is clearing this pond and getting to that island green. Yeah, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I think it's another one of these holes that really rewards a good drive. The approach isn't that tricky. If you have a great drive, you can have only, you know, 70, 80 meters to the green, and it's pretty open on the approach, just a couple of trees at the very end to miss. But once again, all about just keeping your disc under the low ceiling. And this is looking really nice. That's kind of the ideal spot. She's gonna have a pretty straight shot from there. There's also a bit of room to shape it right to left, or especially left to right. It's really all about what the player is the most comfortable with.
Yeah, it was a great shot and a great looking scorecard from Keiti. She's clean on the back nine with 3 birdies, in position to get another one. Solid drive from Kaidi as well, out there into the open. Heidi, a little bit overturned. It's inbounds here, but she's a little bit pinched off. It's going to be a more difficult approach into the green from that angle. You have to do like a kind of like a big turnover because there's some trees in your way.
Yeah, for sure. And Eveliina here more on the left side. That's a perfect spot. Really everybody in birdie position here. And let's see, Kaidi, excuse me, the furthest one out here. Needing to put some good power on the disc. Look at this line. Beautiful.
Yeah, it comes in right by the basket. Just 4 meters long. Almost hits it. Really, really good approach there. Now you see that Heidi has to go a little bit shaping the shot to avoid that tree. And what a miracle tree kick that was. Straight to the pin.
Wow, yeah, there's not much danger on that left side, but she would have been far side of circle 2 there. With the kick though, just parked under the basket, almost just outside the bullseye. Kaidi, they're a little bit pulled to the right. I think the preferred approach here is definitely a right to left finishing shot. You know, there's that one big tree just at the very end of the shot. You want to be barely around that big tree. And Eveliina there a little bit wide as well. You want to go in between those two, and she has actually kicked out of bounds. I'd say that's pretty unfortunate, honestly.
That's super unlucky. Heidi got a good break, and Eveliina was looking really good. It just kicked back and rolled OB there. Yeah, some tree love and some tree hate. You saw it there, folks. Good bid from Keiti. Hits the band from pretty deep. I like what we're seeing here from her. She just had that one triple bogey that's kind of tripped her up. Otherwise, she's had some great results. Lots of birdies. Solid one there from Kaidi. 2 in a row.
Yeah, and that's going to be 3 birdies on the card. Excuse me, 2 birdies on the card. Keiti just barely missing the putt for the birdie, and Eveliina, of course, with that unfortunate tree kick. And of course, how much that was an unfortunate free kick, it could have been avoided.
There you see Henna Blomros in the clubhouse with the hot round of 7 down. We also have Missy Gannon and Kairi Teku at 6 down, trying to get another one before they finish. Hole 16. It's, pretty straightforward. What would you say?
Another low ceiling here. You need to ideally push that ceiling. You want to be as close to the top of the ceiling as possible to get all that distance of 94 meters, which is playing actually surprisingly far. There are not that many skips on this hole. It's really hard to be long, especially with the low ceiling. Yeah, you can see there Kaidi a little bit left and hitting that ceiling. It's a very fine line between being too high and having the perfect height.
Yeah, you just gotta kind of hit the line. Well, that's pretty good right there, pin high. She'll have an opportunity for a big putt from C2 there. Keiti right side through the gap. Don't see that too often, but yeah, hits a big birch tree and falls down there just short of the path.
Let's see, Eveliina, this is a great chance for her to get some strokes back. A solid shot challenging the ceiling, that's what you have to do here. And that's in the circle. Gonna be a tester putt there after some putting struggles, but that would be a great confidence builder, not only for the rest of this round, only 2 holes left after this, but especially for the final round tomorrow.
Really nice looking approach here from Keiti. Hits the base and stays put, keeping it clean. Kaidi from way deep. No, she doesn't want any of it, just putting it right under the basket. Moving on with the par. She's under par from the back 9, so making moves on Heidi. Oh, look at that highlight putt from Heidi from way deep. She's so stoked. As you mentioned, kind of not the tallest player. She has to reach up really high to get into that elevated basket, but what an amazing putt there. Really huge one, and she's putting something together here. 3 of the last 4 birdies. You know, she finished really strong yesterday and shredded up the course, and we're seeing she's got this back 9 figured out.
Yeah, it's incredible. She's, having a really clean release on the putt. Not any wobble, great spin and great speed control as well. And the contrast, of course, with Eveliina here, missing from in the circle. Again, unfortunately. The gap between Eveliina and Heidi is now 7 strokes. But the rest of the field is really what's putting the most pressure on Heidi right now.
Yeah, those players we mentioned out there scoring hot today. Hole 17, par 3, 94 meters. Pretty far uphill. Another double Mando straight shot with a low ceiling. OB on the left and right. Kind of the opposite effect of what you see across the stadium there on hole 7. That one's downhill, this one's uphill, but similar type of a shot, I guess. Well, distance and, straight anyway.
For sure, and it's actually surprisingly similar to the last hole. It's pretty much the same shot, dead straight. You can even throw the same disc. A lot of players are throwing a very similar disc here. Once again, you might want to challenge that ceiling to get the distance. Not this much though, Heidi's too high up there. And a shot like that really sets up for a disastrous kick to the right side or the left side OB, or even a Mando miss. There's once again a double Mando on this hole.
Yeah, another big score separator. Another really kind of sweet pipe dream hole shot where there's no other real way to tack it, just in, straight down the gut. Here we see a beauty sliding right up inside the circle. She'll have a chance for the birdie now, and look at that clean scorecard on the back 9. She's really doing work out there.
Yeah, I just love how Keiti's game is looking right now. Clean especially on the backhand. I feel like her form is looking crisp. And Eveliina, little bit to the left. That was close to being the perfect shot. Great height. And let's see Heidi here. Looked like she did stay in bounds and has a chance. And what a great looking scramble shot.
Super solid work there, out of position. Eveliina stretching out with the forehand here. Whipping it. Pretty good effort there. Yeah, nice work from a tough spot.
Yeah, for sure. Once again, having that forehand advantage. I think I would really rank Eveliina's forehand in definitely the top 3 forehands in Europe in the FPO field. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, look at that! Highlight birdie from Keiti. Super sweet. She's 4 down from the back 9, 5 down total. She really turned things around after that triple bogey and bogey back-to-back on 7 and 8. Since then, 5 under par. Par cleanups. Here and there. And I guess bogey, yeah, for Heidi, unfortunately. Back to -1 for the round, and just 3 strokes between her and Kaidi. Here you see a beautiful view of this stadium, the Tallinn Song Festival grounds, where Estonians gathered to sing for their freedom. And here we finish on hole 18, a beautiful downhill shot towards the stadium. Lots of crowd here gathered to watch people finish. You got the VIP lounge there right behind the basket. You got the Estonian national TV broadcast taking place in the left tent over there. Quite a spectacle, what a really wonderful event.
Yeah, and what a finishing hole as well, perfectly in the front of the entire stadium. And this hole actually, it's a pretty deceiving hole, because usually your shot will always end up on the left side of the basket. Even if you're trying to play it pretty far to the right, you're almost always fading out left. So let's see what these players are doing. Keiti not really going for the basket, it doesn't look like. But you can see even that falling out way left, you know, much further than you would initially think.
I think that was maybe a little more safe than she was hoping to play, but anyway, it's a decent result if you're inbounds, you know, and she's gonna probably get up and down for the par from there. This is going after it more. Can it keep the straight line? Looks like it's fading a little bit. Yeah, bailing out a little bit left side there, but not too bad.
Another hole that really rewards that big distance on the backhand. Let's see Eveliina put it wide. Great looking line, I really love the shape on this. And look at this, it's picking up speed from the hillside. Great shot there, and even that one finishing left side of the basket, even though it was so far right at the beginning.
Yeah, really trusting the stability of that disc, hanging it out way wide, and it still came back even a little bit more than she might have expected. Heidi quite high, fading, but nicely inside the circle. Good stall shot there, worked out well. She's happy with it.
Yeah, solid shots, both Eveliina and Heidi. I would, especially with their power, I would still like to see them go a little bit wider on that drive. It's really hard to play too far to the right, and they really have the potential to park the hole or even give it a bit of an ace run. As Keiti there, solid approach, solid back 9 overall, really clean as you mentioned many times.
Kaidi looks like just a layup, taking the par, securing that lead card final day position in front of the home crowd. That's important. Heidi coming up short there, so she's going to finish at 10 down. She will be the outright leader. See if Eveliina can get one to finish. Nice birdie there. Not her best day. She's going to drop off that lead card, but good to get a birdie there in the bag right at the end in front of the crowd.
For sure, and honestly, Eveliina being 5 strokes back, you know, she could very well get 5 strokes on Heidi in the final round. You know, if Heidi shot a 1 under today, if she shoots a 1 under tomorrow, Eveliina already shot 7 under in round 1. So if you do the math, that would be a 1-stroke victory for Eveliina. So she has no reason to lose any faith in her game, even though it was a rough day.
Right, so even the chase card, still pretty good chance to take this thing down on being only 5 strokes behind. Kristen Tatar on the 3rd card, I believe. What would you give her chances of making another epic comeback here?
Yeah, honestly, I think the chances are quite low, even though the Estonian crowd would love that to happen. It's probably not going to happen, but hey, we have some other Estonians in contention. Great to see the home country players playing well on their, you know, not home course, but home turf at least.
Yeah, representing proud, and great to see them, you know, performing well. They're going to be in contention on the final day, but we will have Heidi, Laine out in front. Missy Gannon, the one closest to her, trying to put some pressure on, a few strokes back. It's going to be a super interesting final round. Thank you so much for being with me in the booth. I had a lot of fun. Thank you all for joining us along for the ride, and thanks everybody for making this happen. Epic event.